Okay. So I'm especially going to send this recording out to Grady. So welcome to Heart Academy for September, what's the date? 14th, 2017. Yes. I finally have an empty classroom. The time is 3:33 p.m. Classroom is kind of empty. Empty to me is when you only have 2 students instead of 20. So today has been such an interesting day. But I think the best part of my day is right now. I have Avery, who is my guest for Heart Academy.
Greetings, people of the internet.
That's right. And you know what? This girl has got so much flipping talent. I ain't gonna show you her face because
starting up your organization.
Okay, don't call me. I'll take it. Wait, because you know I'm talking about Avery in her moment. She's got so much talent. I don't want to show you her face because if I do, people are gonna end up stalking her, and I don't want that to happen because I'm here to focus on math right about now, and so I can't shoot her to stardom right about now. It's coming though. Remember the name. Avery. And then, girl, when you make it big, you better remember the small people. No, I ain't small. Remember the people that influence you the most. Okay? Now, this is our second recording of the day because the first recording was accidentally deleted. And, but we came up with a pretty good plan of how we're going to handle some management in the classroom. So, also in my room today happens to be Jacob, a.k.a. the bouncer.
And I am the announcer.
Yeah.
I am the grader, not the announcer.
Right?
That's some math, not poetry.
So, yeah, we're going to tell you all about that tomorrow. Especially tomorrow, because you know tomorrow people are going to want to come buy hearts in the heart store, right? Oh, gosh, this is so cool. I'm making us part of the heart store. You got to line up. Are you on the list? And you have 5 minutes to pick what you want and then get out. So, but, I'm having such a great time with them right now. This is awesome. But we are going to do some math for you. I know you're probably like, what is going on? There's a party up in Mrs. Hart's house? Yes, but now it's a private party. Don't come over my room right about now. Anybody? Okay. I am so impressed with Avery. I want her to demonstrate her skills. Oh, you have like fabulous handwriting too.
Thank you.
Okay. So Avery, tell me, what is your process for solving, like, question number 1?
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is that for question number 1, when you first look at it, you might freak out a little bit, but don't worry. The trick is when you, number 1, so the trick, bleh, I can totally talk. So the trick I do is that I mentally put a line between the word use and the equation. And I know what you're thinking, but it looks like one big equation. But see what Ms. Hart is doing is that she put a line between the use and the equation. So if you look at it now, it counts like 2 different things. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the sentence, it kind of gives you 2 clues. The z in the equation is 4. So imagine it like 4 is trying to disguise itself.
Oh, that's good.
But you broke through its little disguise, and you found out it was a 4. The same thing with the 7. So z is 4, and d is 7. So what you do is that you rewrite it underneath, except you put the numbers instead of the letters.
So you mean, and I have to tell you guys, that was an awesome description. You might want to think about going into early childhood education because you do have a teacher tone and you explain things very well and lively. That's great. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mom. I really do love this girl. Oh my God. Okay. Call me. Text me. She's so talented. This is awesome. Okay. So, was she... Do you see this handwriting? Oh my gosh. So Avery says we're going to now substitute. So Z is 4, so we're going to rewrite it.
Z is for 4.
Minus
5. And also, a trick is, you probably look at the 5 and the D and think, oh, so it's probably one thing. No, it's actually not. It might not look like it's actually a multiplication system. It's a multiplication problem. but it doesn't really look like that. That's because the numbers that are disguised as the letters are trying to trick you.
Right.
So what you do is split those two up. So when you rewrite it as D is 7, you put a multiplication between the 5 and the 7.
Right. And because she's so smart, she heard me the first time when I explained in class, anytime you see a number right next to a letter, it means multiply. So yes, 5. And then we're going to undisguise that D, so that's 7. So 5 times 7.
Oh.
And remember, I like to use dots for multiplication. Why do I like to use dots for multiplication?
Because with these types of problems, any letter can end up here. So if it looks like an X, it might get a little confusing.
That is true. So, and I've done that a few times before too. So whenever I teach pre-algebra class, and then all the way up to algebra 2, I can't go past that because it gets to kill. You know, so I stop using X as multiplication and start using the dot. So now, so really my sentence says you're saying is 4 minus 5 times 7. What do I do now?
You use PEMDAS, also known as Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. That is the easiest way to remember it.
Good.
And what PEMDAS do is it's a pattern.
Yeah.
And you repeat the pattern every time you do these types of problems.
Right.
So P is for parentheses, which we don't have right now.
Okay.
E is for exponents, which we also don't have in this problem.
Correct.
And M and D are multiply and divide.
Right.
And we obviously a multiplication problem, so we do that first.
Oh. What part of this is the multiplication problem?
The 5 times 7. Also, here's also a little trick, is that when you have also if you have a divide and multiplication problem inside the same problem, you do whatever comes first. So from left to right.
Very good. And that's why this is no longer straight down into one line. So parentheses, exponents, multiply or divide, whatever comes first, just like Avery said, and then add or subtract whatever comes first. So we do have the multiplying, okay? And so we have 5 times 7, which is 35.
Correct.
And then what do we do?
We bring the 4 and the minus sign down. Then it becomes 4 minus 35.
So we made it to the add or subtract part.
Correct.
What is 4 minus 35?
Actually, you might probably think, but that doesn't make any sense. You can't minus 35 from 4. You are definitely correct there. But in this certain type of math, you actually have to go into the negatives. So go ahead and grab your calculators, or if you know arithmetic, is that correct?
Oh yeah, the integer rules, negatives and positives.
And you will find out that 4 minus 35 equals negative 31.
That's correct. And so this equals negative 31, and I was explaining it earlier in the previous recording that I like to think of it as money because my daughter is, trying to understand the whole negative number concept. And so I said, okay, let's say, I give you a credit card that only has $4 on it, and she goes to Target's. Actually, my daughter would go to like GamePro or something, okay? So,
I would too.
Or Dave and Buster's like her birthday party on Saturday. But she goes there only having $4 on her card, but she ends up spending $35. Right? How does that happen? Bank cards will allow you to do that.
But then you'll get a letter in your mail saying, "Yo, you need to pay me back."
Right. And then right, exactly.
So I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
Go ahead.
But so what the bank will do is, so what you'll do is that they'll say, "You need to pay me back negative $31."
That's right. And that's why your statement will say negative 31. They're like, that's their way of saying. Oh, and did you know? First, let's make sure that we concluded. Number 1, your answer is negative 31. She did an excellent job on that. But going back to the bank thing, y'all be careful when you get 18. Don't get those credit cards, okay? Because if you really do this, not only will the banks go, you owe me 31, but then they'll say, now you add me an extra 25 because I spotted you. Money. So can you imagine? So $31 plus another $25, okay? I know. So that would be like so much for that's O to bank.
All right. So how
Can I just
about?
take a moment
All right.
and tell these people how lucky they are to have such a patient person? Y'all don't know. Because if I would have flipped out on you by now. Stop interrupting my moments. Okay? Because you know that's what they're doing, trying to get up in your camera time. But no, we got them. I'm telling you. Mom. Oh my God. I'm coming to dinner. Okay, let's go with number 2. Let's go with number 2. Ooh, number 2 says fraction with it. She was going to tackle that one?
All right then. So okay. So you might look at this and might freak out a little bit, but don't worry. Don't panic. What the fraction is actually is a division problem. You can always turn a fraction into a division problem. It's like, it's kind of like imagine moving the numbers sideways and putting the line in between them with 2 little eyes.
I'm ready to cry.
Oh no. That's how you could make it into a division problem.
So she's saying and she's right, fractions is just another form of division, right? So we have this 9 over S, and we know that S is 3. So what Avery was saying is, oh, maybe I can actually do it. Check this out. So you have 9 over 3, right? Oh, Avery, watch this. And then she was saying if you were able to turn it around or flip it to its side, this is what she's talking about. You would see, actually flip it to the side, did you see that? You would see this. And this as a division problem would be 3 on the outside, 9 on the inside. So that's exactly what you said. So flip it. And so now it's a division problem. We know that this part of the answer would be what?
It would be 3 divided by 9.
Or
9
divided by 3, right? Yeah. And what is that?
9 divided by 3 equals 3, because 3 times 3 equals 9.
So what we have here is first let's rewrite the problem like we did the first one without the letters. Because we still want to plug in the letters first, right?
Right.
Okay.
I almost forgot that.
I just got excited by the way she was explaining that fraction. Okay.
Sneaky little characters.
And 7 times. Oh, that's 7. Okay. So now when we started solving, which we already had, we know that this is 3 will go into 9, which you said was what? 3 times? 3. I'll bring down everything else. Okay. And then we do this next, right?
Correct.
Okay.
7 times 7 equals 49.
Okay. So, according to PEMDAS, let me get this back down here. So what we have done was, parentheses, no parentheses left, no exponents.
We did division, then multiplication.
So, only thing left that we have to do is what?
Add and subtract. So, what you do with add and subtract is the same thing you do with multiplication and division. You do whatever comes first.
Yes, it is.
And
okay.
with this, it's 3 minus 8. Now, if you remember from the first one, number 1, of course, you need to divide 3 minus 8. You need a minus, I said that wrong, 3 minus 8, which equals -5.
That's right. Just like going to the store again with no money. You go to the store with $3, but you spend 8. So that means you're going to owe the bank
$5.
$5, so -5. And then I'm going to bring down the rest, 49. Now what? What does that mean? -5 minus 49.
Ooh, so again, pull out your calculators because this could get a little technical. But see, a negative minus a negative equals negative. Am I correct, Miss Hart?
Yes, you are. Okay.
So basically, the minus kind of becomes a negative.
Right.
For 49.
Right.
So 5 minus 49, and basically the world, imagine instead of moving up, you're moving back.
Exactly. And I like to say too, like you're going to the store again with -$5 in your account, and then you go ahead and spend another 49. So that's 2 negatives in the hole. So
with a negative and negative, you're adding up.
Right.
With negatives.
Right. So 49 plus 5 is what?
negative 54.
That's right, because a negative plus a negative is a negative. Number 2 is there. Good job, Avery.